Greetings to the League of Thrones. I'm Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. I've been given the task of explaining the visuals for this week's episode of The Throne Zone. As we've already seen, thanks to the power of AI and creativity, Scott and Andy have been able to appear pretty much anywhere. They've been in the studio, they went to Auburn, they visited Wrigley Field, and they even made an appearance on the Flintstones. But this week, it was decided that it wasn't going to be a matter of where they were at, but rather a matter of when. Wow! Did you get the same spooky chills that I did? But I'm here to explain a little more than that. You see, Scott and Andy had no idea about the flashback concept when they recorded the show. So the audio is just the normal show covering the events of Week 6 of the fantasy football season. You guys are smart, you can understand this, right? For each different game, we are going to travel through time. Pretty simple. And for the opening, when they aren't yet talking about the fantasy action, Scott and Andy will be appearing on a nude beach courtesy of Justin's suggestion. So if that makes you lose your lunch, blame Justin. Enjoy the show.
The Throne Zone 2025 with Scott and Andy. The Throne Zone 2025 with Scott and Andy. The Throne Zone 2025 with Scott and Andy.
Welcome to Week 6 of the Throne Zone 2025, the wrap-up of the greatest fantasy football league in history. I don't care what other leagues you've heard about, they can suck my dick. We're the best. I hope you guys aren't sharing these videos with your mothers. Anyway, I'm Andy.
And I'm Scott. Thanks for that lovely image, Andy. It's always a thing I always look forward to is someone sucking your dick. That's awesome.
Well, I just want to say, I think I've heard that other people are suggesting that maybe they have a better fantasy league. Let me ask you this. Does your fantasy league have two dipshits who record a podcast for no reason on a Tuesday night? No, they don't. Does your fantasy league have somebody who then spends hours creating stupid AI images that come almost close to perfection, but there's always something wrong? Do they do that? No. But who does? This guy. I'm using two thumbs and I'm pointing to myself in what's clearly a audio medium. I don't know what videos are showing right now. We'll figure that out later. All right, Scott, let's... you can tell I'm on one tonight.
You're on something
All right.
tonight.
Oh, well, definitely on something. I was the high man, which we'll get to in a minute. May still be the high man. Okay.
It might still be carrying through.
Scott, let's move on. Let's move on to a very important game, number one.
Number one.
Game number one.
All right, Scott, our first game that we're covering this week was a major upset as far as I'm concerned.
Well.
The 1-4 Walt Disney Imp Daddies were taking on the rough and tumble Double Trouble, who were 4-1. So you would think, oh no, it's going to be a poor beatdown for the Imp Daddies, but it wasn't. The Imp Daddies upset Double Trouble. They put a whomping on them, and if it weren't for a lot of points towards the end for Double Trouble, you would have actually come through on your 30-point promise.
I'm walking on sunshine. Yeah. Come on now. Who guaranteed that win last week? I believe it was this guy. I got two thumbs pointing at myself for this audio media. Oh my gosh. Whooping. How do you like that whooping, DT?
Yeah, if Double Trouble had hit 100%, they would have snuck right by you, but if you guys were both at 100%, they didn't have a chance. You guys played really, really well.
You know what makes it even more special for myself was the fact that, Alex Croninger with his older brother was there at the game where Bijan Robinson ran like a motherfucker all over his fantasy dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Way to go, Bijan.
He had to be feeling that every time that, Bijan, what did he have, like 38 points or whatever? I know it was a lot. I got it written down.
38.8.
Yeah, he had a lot of fucking points. Him and...
170 rushing yards.
But you know that they're...
68 receptions.
They're sitting there
yards.
and they're sweet,
God.
eating their chicken fingers and their free drinks, and they're just watching you whoop them.
And I believe that was Justin's son raising the buffalo flag right in Atlanta's face.
Was it?
What are you doing? Oh my gosh. You're going to get that little kid killed. What's going on?
By the way, Double Trouble, -2 points from your kicker. Now, for some reason, defenses have been giving people negative points a lot this season, more than I can remember, but I don't remember seeing negative points from a kicker. Double Trouble gets -2 from Cam Little, who got you less than little.
Yeah.
He got you negative. So,
Yeah, I think there was someone last week had a negative kicker points too. They're kind of, that's kind of unusual. I should think of something. I was trying to think of something, some sort of penalty to give for the negative, for if a kicker hits a negative. But I didn't want too many people storming out of the league. There's enough penalties as it is. But it's fun to watch when it's not you. When my kicker, what would he get? Oh, the guy I just picked up on waivers, 17 points. Oh, okay. That's all right.
I'll just say this about kickers. The Bears had to sign Jake Moody, the guy who couldn't cut it in San Francisco because he kept missing.
Oh, man, he did great.
Yeah, he did great for us, but let me tell you something. I was never comfortable a single time, and then when he got blocked, whatever. But, hey, the Bears won. That's all that matters. Maybe that's why I'm in a good mood, but nobody's here to hear me talk about the Bears. They're here to hear me talk about their fantasy football team.
Well, I'm walking on sunshine over here, so here we go, my friend. Let's 2-4. We're coming for everybody. Everybody better get out the way. The M Daddies have come to play.
Well, I can't add anything to that, so why don't we move on to game number 2?
Game number 2.
All right, our second game this week has the Gainesvillians going to 3-3 as they beat down Justin's Maharaja Madness, who goes to 4-2. And not only did Justin take a loss, he wasn't going to have a perfect season, but he was also the low man. And
How low can you go?
better than that, I mean, if you're looking for reasons to gloat at Justin's mistakes, he left 55 points on his bench. 55, double nickel. Sammy Hagar had songs about this shit.
Yeah. He also picked up the biggest burn of the week as well for leaving Rico Dowdle on his bench.
Yeah, didn't he know Rico Dowdle was taken this week personally? But, by the way, here's the thing that I'm sure Justin knows this, but in case he doesn't, this will burn his ass. If Justin had hit 100%, he would have won. And if both teams were at 100%, he also would have won. So, clearly, mistakes were made by the Maharaja's computer program that he pays to do his research and work.
And I'll say this little bit of unknown knowledge. I tried to do a trade with Justin all week long. I tried. I tried to grab Javonte Williams from him. I was trying to get him. And had he taken my trade, he'd have started Rico Dowdle. He would have won. So, just saying.
Ouch. That's gonna hurt. Oh, by the way, Danny's defense, his beloved Philly defense, got a -1. And his other defense, Denver,
-1.
on his bench, got 12. But didn't matter. Danny won, so congratulations to the Gainesvillians.
Yeah, that was the second biggest burn of the week. It happened in the same game there. And it cost him $10 for those Eagles to get a -1 right there in prime time.
Listen, you know me. I'm all for pumping the kitty. I think that should have been the name of our league. Pump that kitty. Just everybody throw as much money as you can into the pot, and I'm going to come swoop it up.
Who is this kitty and how can I get her number? That's all I want to know.
All right, so both Double Trouble and Maharaja, they lose this week, and yet they still hold on to, a first-place three-way tie with Barstow, who we'll get to in a minute. And
Yeah.
Justin and Alex, as we talked about, they were at the Atlanta game. They were in front of a Shark Tank, and they were eating chicken wings or chicken fingers. And I wonder if they have anything to say about it.
Don't know what those two are thinking there. They're coming together for their worst week of the entire season. But, it's always good to have brotherly love like that when you're at your lowest point. So that being said, let's move away from those crying Croningers, shall we? And let's move on to game number 3.
Game number 3.
Our third game of the week is the aforementioned Barstow Bats, who are also 4-2 now, tied with Double Trouble, tied with the Maharaja, as they get a victory over the CMK 95%. Barstow almost mercy ruled them, 138-90, just a couple more points and you would have had another $5 in your pocket. Barstow was pretty much near perfect. They were at 99%, so there was nothing the CMK could have done.
You know, I'm going to actually say something about that because it was brought to my attention by the aforementioned Mr. Kelly that he actually picked up Jackson Dart after Dart had already played his game. So when he started his lineup, he actually started 100% of the correct player. So because he couldn't play Jackson Dart, and that's the only player that would have been changed on a perfect lineup. So he actually played his perfect lineup. He played 100% on that.
Well then, congratulations, Kelly. You still don't get another $5, but you get the applause of two guys who are recording a podcast on fumes. Way to go.
Yeah, Kelly said, I got no interest in paying $5 for an ad, but I'm going to point out some content for you. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Oh, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
That's $5 worth of content. I appreciate it.
It is $5 worth of content. Speaking of $5 worth of content, nobody bought an ad this week, but I'm sure we'll maybe have a last-minute savior because it's time before we get into Connor's game that we should go to the Connor fact of the week.
During the League of Thrones draft, Connor promised to provide a weekly personal fact about himself. Since he has failed to do this, we will provide one for him.
Before I get to it, let's all just take a moment to appreciate how great these flashbacks have been. Also, while I have your attention, San Dimas rules! Eat it, Connor! Anyway, what's a better fact than one about somebody fucking a watermelon? I've got my work cut out for me, but let's try this one. Connor is not skilled with his hands, yet in school he was forced to take a woodshop class taught by a greasy and obese old man who had eyes for Connor. The degrading things Connor had to do just for a C- still haunts him to this very day. You'd think dancing shirtless would at least get a B.
This week's Connor fact is sponsored by Acid. That's right, Acid. LSD, horse tranquilizer, PCP. Whatever drug will help you have flashbacks, that's the sponsor. Alcohol is great, and so is marijuana, but if you want to get the job done and go traveling through time, take a boatload of acid. Now, these claims have not been approved by the FDA. But you know what? Fuck the FDA. I'm telling you to take acid, and God damn it, you're going to listen to me. I'm Samuel L. Jackson, motherfuckers.
Oh, that Connor fact of the week. Whoever the writers are for this show are fucking hilarious and clever.
Or really, really high.
Yes, or probably both. I haven't written it yet, but I'm sure it'll still be magnificent. All right, listen, before we get back to the games, we do need to update some gambling information real quickly. The Kings tournament was, it was kind of like a Hindenburg. You want to tell them what happened, Scott?
Well, Danny happened. Danny the Hindenburg, indeed. He came through and his Eagles just shat the bed, shat the nest, as it was. Took out 3 of us, I believe.
Danny had us all believing in his Eagles. He's all, look at my tattoo, look at me flexing, look at me talk about the Eagles. So 3 of us jumped on that Eagles bandwagon, and we were humiliated. And the worst part is we were humiliated early in the week on Thursday, so
we had to live with it.
We had to wait all weekend to find out who's left. Kelly and Jacob, is that it?
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, well, who are these guys gambling on, and who did they pick, and who do I now have to root for? And it didn't fucking matter. They both move on, so I guess kind of congrats to them, but really, this is our show, so fuck them, and as far as I'm concerned, the King's tourney is dead to me.
And fuck the Eagles for losing 2 in a row.
Yeah,
how did you do that, Eagles? Come on.
Eagles. Give me a break. Oh, you know what, Scott? I meant to ask you, do you have an update on the Wins League since we are a third of the way through the regular season?
Yeah, after week 6, I do. It's been kind of jumping around. I kind of do it each week and kind of take a look at it. But, there's really nothing you can do at this point because we've already made our picks and that sort of thing. So you kind of just sit there and watch the wins go up and down. But there's 2 people in the lead right now, although the difference between the lead and the last person is only 5 wins. So really it can change on a dime here. But Justin and Andy, hey, that's you, are sitting on top with 21, mostly because Justin has Detroit and Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. That's really helped him. You also have Indianapolis, the other 5 win. So you guys are sharing that 5 win. The other 5 win team is Tampa Bay. But you have most of the AFC South they all have wins. And you got 2 New Englands. So since you have 2 New Englands, you got a double 4 there. So that's why you're sitting on top. So that's 21. The next number is 18. That's 4 people tied for that. That's Tony, Brooks, Connor, and Alex and Skip sitting in second place, tied for second, or tied for third, technically, with 18. And then next is 17. That's Danny and myself. And then 16, the two low men on the league, is Jacob and Kelly. Although they were, just a few weeks ago, they were at the very top. So, again, this is how that can swing. And we did pretty well because the only teams we didn't use in the first draft were the Giants and New Orleans. And in the second draft, it was the Jets and Cleveland. And between those 4 teams, there were only 4 wins in total. So we're not really leaving much there off the board there. So.
All right, so we're practically a brain trust. Scott, I got to say, and I'm not going to go too long with this because, we know this is going to be a long show anyway, but I swear to God, I had no idea how I was doing in the Wins League when I asked you that, and I also had no memory of what teams I had, so thank you for reminding me.
You had no idea the teams. Yeah, well, there you go.
There's nothing I could do about it at this point. I made my decisions back in whenever, and then there's literally nothing I can do. I'm not going to hedge against it, so I move forward. But all right, so that's good to know. And I know that in the Pick'em League, it's still kind of close. I think I'm a few behind the leader, who is Double Trouble. And I just want to point out that the only 2 people in our league that were smart enough to know that the Bears were going to beat Washington was me and Jacob. So, Jacob, here's a virtual high five for you and I, knowing that Caleb Williams is going to bring the Bears to the fucking promised land. Check with me next week when I'm crying.
Yeah, I think you and I are tied actually now. I used to be leading this, but I've slipped down. So you and I are tied at third.
Well, I take sick pride that I usually do pretty well in that every year, even if I don't win it. All right, before we, look, it's already running long, so let's just move on to game number 4.
Game number 4.
Our 4th game is the mighty San Dimas Wild Stallions, who are now 3-3, beating the Muppet Babies, who are also now 3-3. I beat them by 35. That's the second time I've played them this year. That's the second time I've beaten them. I'm honored to have a chance to whoop on the new guy. I was the high man, and if I had been at 100%, I would have still been the high man for the whole league if the whole league was at 100%. I am great. Hooray for me.
I'm kind of debating because as I'm bringing up the scores here, something just popped on my screen. I've never been live for a trade offer, just popped up on my screen, and I'm wondering if I should read it or not because it's from Danny. And he did the same thing with Justin, where he's offering a 2-for-1 deal. So we have to get rid of a player if we want to. Do you want to know the trade offer, or could you give a shit?
Folks, we are breaking news here on the Throne Zone. Breaking news!
Trade offer.
I got to make a Chiron. I'll make a Chiron for
All
it.
right.
You know it.
So the Gaines villains want Rome Odunze. Odunze. They want Rome Odunze, which is my wide receiver. And in return, they're going to give me Calvin Ridley from Tennessee, who's questionable with a hamstring, and Jaylen Warren for my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Should I say reject right now in big, huge letters? I hate Schittsburg. No, thank you. I did offer Justin a hamstring player, but I did not know he had a hamstring injury when I offered it to him, so I will give Danny that same grace. But I'm saying no hamstring on Ridley, and I hate Schittsburg. No, thank you. Reject. Okay, Danny, you've been rejected both here in the league, on the podcast, and in real life. Okay, so there you go.
And congratulations, Danny, for stealing my thunder over my amazing victory that we were just talking about.
All right. What the crap game are we talking about? The Muppet Babies?
Yeah, we're talking about San Dimas beating the Muppet Babies by 35.
All right. High man.
High man.
You're the high man. How's it feel? High man?
I feel pretty high.
You have 4 players over 25 points. It's got to feel pretty good.
It feels good when I woke up to watch the Brees Hall game. I didn't watch it live. I basically watched it, at about... I don't care.
Well, I wouldn't call it the Brees Hall game because that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Brees Hall, who might as well be dead. I think he's allergic to England.
He's not doing well. But I tell you, when you got 4 players scoring over 25, that's 100 right there. The other guys are just putting in other extra points for bonus. And one of those is a freaking tight end. And then Ladd McConkey woke up from his 4-week slumber. So, good on you, man. Good on you. Take that little kid down. That high school kid with a -2 on his defense.
That -2 on his defense. He traded for Derrick Henry. He got 17 points for Derrick Henry. Was the trade worth it? Yeah, we'll find out. But, yeah, all right. Again, yay, San Dimas. All right, let's move on to game number 5.
Game number 5.
Our fifth game, which is our last game, but definitely they're not last place in your hearts. They're first in your programs. I don't know. I'm trying to not insult both Brooks and Jacob here.
I call this the game that no one gives a shit about outside of New Orleans.
Okay, that's a good. Yeah, there you go. It's the New Orleans Bowl there. The bad guys, they beat the Electric Mayhem, so Jacob goes to 3-3 and Brooks goes to 2-4. If Brooks had been at 100%, he would have won the game.
He'd have won.
And if both of them were at 100%, he would have won that too.
He'd have won the game, yeah.
I think it's Connor's fault, because wasn't Connor still handling his roster? So Connor's getting a whooping.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where Brooks is now and where he's out swamp diving or he's back in the humanity. I'm not really sure where he is these days.
He's going to have to come back and give that boy a whooping.
Yeah, it looked like he went with his New Orleans tight end who had a fumble and 15 yards, and he should have gone with the Cleveland guy because that was a good 13 points right there. And the other one would have been the receiver, Waddle over Adams. Although, nobody really makes that call, I don't think. I don't think I would go with Waddle over Adams, but, that's what cost him, though.
Well, I think it's impressive that Jacob wins with, I think it was like 50% or more of the players on his bench on a bye. So he didn't have a lot of options, and yet what he had did the job. So
His bye is looking just awful. And this is the guy I lost to. I lost to Brooks last week. So, what can I say? Except I'm walking on sunshine. Yeah, come on.
that's right, Scott, because you have moved up to 2-4. And
right.
You and CMK and Electric Mayhem, we got 3 teams at 2-4. I think we have 3 teams at 4-2 and 2 teams at 3-3. So Jesus Christ!
And
it's
I'm not last. I'm
anybody's league.
second to last, but I'm not last. I'm ninth place in the overall rankings.
And the way things are going, you could be in first place in I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Who knows?
Two games
I mean,
out.
look. Again, we all know it's Justin's league. We're all just lucky to be participating in it. And, at some point, was he low man this week? Sure. And are we going to continue to remind him of that? Yes, we are. But that's not the point. The point is it's fantasy football and anything can happen. There's too much variance. And it's why I technically hate the game of fantasy football. But the reason I play it is because I love you guys. All of you. You, Scott, and Justin, and Jacob, and Alex, and Skip.
I thought you loved it because
Brooks,
of the gambling.
And Connor, and did I forget Kelly and Danny? You guys, I love all you guys. And
John Boy and Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay.
Deadpool.
Okay. This is good weed. All right. If you have anything to say about that game, that's great. But otherwise, we can move on to our look ahead.
Let's go to our look ahead.
That was so dismissive. I'm sorry. All right. And now it's time for the look ahead. Our look ahead is sponsored by Roshan Tires. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Let's.
God damn. We're getting so
I
tired.
should get some sponsorship for this. You think I can get sponsorship for our show that has an audience of, and I want to say 12, but I don't even think these YouTube videos get 12 views.
I don't think everybody's watching them.
No, I don't think they are. I fantasized that the whole league was in love with these videos, and I think it's just like you, me, and like 1 or 2 other guys. And every once in a while, Skip comes along and just puts a like on it because he's a nice guy. All right, and here's our look ahead to Week 7. In Week 7, we have 2 teams at 4-2 taking on 3-3 teams. We have Double Trouble versus the Bad Guys. And similarly, we have the Maharaja, who is 4-2, taking on the Muppet Babies. So,
Wow. Muppet Babies are favored as well. And the bad guys are favored. Both of the Chroningers are underdogs this week, at least as it stands now. I'm not sure how their lineup is set.
nope, that's it. They're locked in. Scott, you're the commissioner. You can lock it in.
Locked in.
Our other team that is tied for first place, Barstow, they will be taking on the Electric Mayhem, who are 2-4. So turn it around, Brooks. Help keep parity alive. And then we've got 2 3-3 teams taking on 2-4 teams. Danny's Gaines Villains, they're taking on the CMK 95%. And Scott, the last game of the week, well, let's see. What do we have here?
Uh-oh. I'm doing my math here. I'm thinking about it. You know what that means?
Yeah, it's
Andy Lurie.
Yeah, it's a Lurie versus McGee number 2. I don't know what's wrong with the scheduling in our fucking league, but I've played Double Trouble twice. I have played Connor twice, and now I'm going to play you twice, and it is Week 7. What the? Okay, whatever. That's fine.
Well,
So-
you're 3-3, so
Yeah, exactly.
you're doing mediocre against the
Exactly.
same opponents.
I got a chance to fatten up or a chance to eat some humble pie next week, but that's pretty much
Well,
it.
you're currently favored by 6.5, but I make this guarantee to you, Andy. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this week again.
Oh, Scott,
I'm coming.
we'll have to necessarily talk about this in the Book of Thrones because I'm actually feeling pretty good about my team right now. Even
Yeah.
if my guy DJ Moore had to apparently spend the night in the hospital for a groin injury that mysteriously doesn't seem to have been suffered in the game. So I swear to God, I don't know anything, but like the coach came out and said, well, it's kind of a personal matter, which I'm not even joking. That like it's a groin injury, spent the night in the hospital. Coach said it was kind of more of an embarrassing personal matter as opposed to, oh yeah, he tore it, reaching for that ball on
He had
4th
too
and
much
12.
of that blue pill. He didn't know what to do with it.
No, it just makes me wonder, did he listen to our show and then did he try to fuck a pumpkin and didn't remember to blow out the candle? That's the question. That's the question all of Bears Nation is trying to find out, which is what did DJ Moore do to his groin?
Oh my God. Well,
Yes, that's what this show has become. Groin talk.
I love it. You're gonna need a defense.
Okay.
It looks like though. Got to get the Buffaloes on a bye. So good luck with that. Get yourself a good one.
All right, listen, we're going to wrap this up. Hopefully with editing, we keep it at least close to the 20-minute mark. All the images, man, weren't they great? I have no idea what they're going to be yet, but when they come out, they'll be amazing. Why? Because I'm dedicated.
Yeah. And we're such handsome men, aren't we?
Oh my God, look how fucking good looking we are. And apparently
I'm saying.
we're also rich. Look at that. We're handsome and we're rich.
It's true.
And if ChatGPT would let me without an argument, we'd also have dicks the size of table legs.
Well, at least one of us would.
God. All right. Like I said, I do this for everyone's love and admiration. So love me and admire me.
Oh my Lord.
All right. This has been Throne Zone 2025. I am your very happy host, Andy.
And I am walking on sunshine, Scott.
Look at us. Everything's sunshine and roses. It's only downhill from here. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
The Throne Zone 2025 with Scott